Dude, I had a whole um, slide presentation ready for you to sell the breakup experience because in the last episode you said you're a horrible seller.
I
I'll
didn't
give you
say that.
you
I didn't
said
say.
you're a horrible seller. I'll give you another at bat. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna come with a whole fucking presentation. But Sean, I'm too lazy to find it. I'm too lazy
Well,
to find it.
I didn't
I
say. All right, listener. John has a thing coming up, and then he pitched it last time, and I felt like he could have pitched it better, you know. And I think it's because John is humble and doesn't want to like hard sell something
yeah.
that he's proud of and excited about. And it's not about hard selling. It's just like tell people what it is, you know. And like I didn't say it was horrible. I'm
Well, I
inviting you
thought
to
it would
do
be
it a little bit
funny.
more
I thought
professionally.
it would be funny to enter with this like exaggerated presentation. I do have a landing page to read from this time, but I was going to go all out, and then I couldn't find the thing, and I was too lazy to find it. And I thought about when you say you don't want to work, dude, where I'm at in my life, probably 5 times more of how you feel about work. To get back on the horse right now is just
Yeah,
it's excruciating.
yeah. I can't even imagine what that must feel like. What do
You
you
know,
want to be doing instead?
well, no, no. The part of it, and I think a lot of people don't. They're not thinking about this. Is the amount of adulting that it's required. So, like FEMA insurance. With our insurance, you got to, as of now, you got to do a line item of like, how much toothpaste tubs did you have in the house? How
Yeah,
many
everything, everything.
and so, and Vanessa's spearheading that, but like like for example, the Harley burning down, man, the amount of phone calls and red tape and things that you got to fill out just to get like um claims to be executed and it's crazy.
Yeah, so it's not what would you rather be doing. It's just that you have so much shit to be doing
Yeah.
that working on top of this, there's no energy or time for it.
Yes, yes, it's that. And it's also like the other piece of this is an internal shift where when something like this happens, and I think also when people lose someone, right? Like if your partner dies or passes, this kind of reevaluation of life, that's also happening as well, right? So how you want to spend your time going through not only like your socks, but also your daily structure and what
Yeah.
you want to like adjust or eliminate. It's the most life changing. Um, I don't know what to call it, like repositioning I've ever had in my life.
Well, they say that there are like four big stressors in life are losing someone, losing a
Yeah,
partner,
yeah.
losing a job, moving, and getting married. And I think this one is like losing. It's like moving, and it's like losing everything that you know.
This is the box set of all that.
The box set, yeah. Except for you still have Vanessa and Logan.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Hey, getting married is a life stressor?
yeah. I guess so.
Oh, I didn't
One
know
of the
that.
top four.
I
That's what my
wonder why.
therapist said. I don't know
Yeah.
because you're like blending lives and. Oh.
All right, Sean, you ready? This will be about a minute.
Hey, John. Tell me about your new program.
Turn heartbreak into your greatest catalyst for growth. I'm doing a 12-week live intensive where I'm taking you through healing your broken heart, but also giving you tools so you create a better love experience on the other side of this. Everything from exclusive tools and exercises to what I think is the most important, a supportive community so you don't have to do it alone like I did 20 years ago going through my divorce. Also, I'm rotating coaches, so it's not just me. You're going to get the full box of crayons and a year free in my single on purpose app where there's more courses and more community. So it's really 12 weeks of a breakthrough experience. So it's not just information. I'm taking you through an experience. It is all online, but it is live. What about
Amazing.
that? All right.
That's great. That's
That's
great. You
great.
should record that.
And
But-
you can find it on my bio link at the Angry Therapist.
So for people experiencing breakthrough or stuck in their like breakup, or sorry, people experiencing breakup or people stuck in their like breakup experience. Like I know people that like they're still not over it. It's like a year
Yes.
later. You know,
Yes,
I've actually been there.
It's called Breakup Residue. What was the greatest one for you that you still carry residue from, or maybe you don't anymore, but you did? What relationship would that be?
I had a couple.
Yeah.
I had one, but both with emotionally unavailable women.
And did they leave the relationship? Why did it not work out?
Yeah, both of them left the
Yeah.
relationship. Those were the
And
ones that were the hardest for me.
and so is it internalizing, or is it you playing back the highlight reel and kind of feeling like, someone got away kind of thing?
Oh, there's some of that. There was also there was like another part of it is that I wasn't ready for it to end.
Oh, right.
I still wanted to
Yeah.
keep going. And
Yeah,
these
yeah,
are two
yeah.
women that I kind of saw, a future with.
Yeah, of course.
But probably because they were not available and had a hard time committing to me. And so it was like the unattainable.
I thought that was your pattern.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't think I have a pattern is what I'm starting to think is what I'm starting to realize. It's been a little all over the place. Like it's very disorganized. It's hard to make sense of my past relationships
I
because
think
they
that's
all
your
feel like individual specific reasons for why they ended.
I think that's your attachment style, disorganized.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm spicy.
You are spicy. I love you, get away is Shaun's mantra.
Title of my next book.
I love you, get away. That's a great title, actually. Dude, that is a great title. I love you,
You're
get
absolutely
away.
right, actually.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Okay.
I love it.
10%.
10% to me. Hey, I am excited about our retreat.
I am too. I ordered a onesie.
What animal?
Not an animal.
You fucker.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
My gosh.
I'm so sorry.
So I tell Shaun, okay, we decide we're going to wear onesies. I go on and I find like kind of a classic onesie, kind of like mountaineery,
His and hers, actually. It was like
yeah, but it's not like. And then Shaun texts me back and says, "Okay, cool, but I'm going to be an animal." And so I said, "Oh fuck, now I got to be an animal." So I went and bought a fucking tiger onesie, dude. And then now I'm asking Shaun what animal he's going to be, and he just
I fucked you. Hey, so I went on Amazon last night and I was looking at onesies, and you bought the bestseller. Am I right? It was like the top rated animal onesie on Amazon.
I always buy the bestseller.
Yeah.
I am a sucker for anything that is stamped world famous or
Right.
bestseller, and so yes, of course.
So what I did was I went on Reddit and I started looking up onesies for adults. I went deeper than you did.
Oh yeah, of course you did. Of course you did.
And then I started looking at these onesies on Amazon, and actually it was funny. I went skiing. I'll tell you about this later, but I went skiing, and on Saturday it was like onesie day at the resort, and everybody was wearing onesies and fruit. Either you were dressed up as a onesie as an animal or a fruit. And anyways, I just looked at some of these suits and like shit on Amazon. Sometimes like it looks good.
Oh
in
yeah,
the marketing, and then you get it and you go, wow,
yeah,
this is garbage. It's literal. They're selling you literal garbage. And then I started thinking about like polyester and how I don't really want to wear polyester.
Yeah,
and how all of those onesies are basically 100% polyester. So then I started going down this rabbit.
Trash bags. They're trash bags you're wearing.
They're kind of just plasticky, cheap,
cheap.
$20, $30, whatever, disposable. And so I want to start like being I want to be mindful about how I spend my money and what I spend it on. And so I started looking for cotton onesies. And so then I found like this Scandinavian onesie company that was having a Valentine's Day sale. That's 80% cotton, 20% polyester because the inside is fleece. Fleece is polyester, everybody.
So let me ask you, as you were having these revelations and you decided to kind of Marie Kondo your onesie drawer, you didn't think, oh, I should text John before he buys his tiger outfit? That's polyester?
So all this happened last night.
Oh.
Yeah. 9 p.m. last
Okay.
night.
So I
And
had
there's
already
actually,
bought mine.
you had already bought yours.
Yeah.
There's a chance that it might not even get it in time. In which case, I will have to
Then
buy
that's
some.
worse because now then you would just
No,
be leaving me hanging
no,
on
I'll
top
show
of.
up. I'll find something. Don't worry, John.
Yeah, yeah,
I won't leave you completely hanging.
yeah.
Anyways, that's the whole onesie debacle.
So you ended up getting something, some classy, like a cotton, nice, something that you would wear again. Mine's just a
Something
one and done. I'm wearing it once and then I'm throwing it away. It's one of those.
right. Yeah.
It's a Halloween outfit.
I mean, mine also cost 4 times as much as yours did,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
because instead of spending $30 and never using it again, I'd rather spend $120 and keep it.
Got it.
So that was my thought process last night.
Anyway, we are having our first retreat this weekend. It's fully sold out. It's packed. It's going to be a tight living room, which is the point. It's going to be very cozy, and that I am excited about. It does fall under the umbrella of work, but I'm looking forward to just hanging out with our listeners, you, Sarah, Chef.
It'll be fun. Ice
Yeah.
baths, sauna.
Yes, and and also structure. We're gonna process some things, lecture on some things. So it's gonna be a great weekend.
I want to talk about emotional availability.
Yes, you should. I heard you talk about emotional availability. I believe at In Bloom.
Yeah,
And
we'll do some holding space exercises.
hey, man, I was impressed. I was watching you, and I think I had just met you. You had a chalk. You were on like you had the whole. You were writing things down on a chalkboard or on
We had
paper.
a board. Yeah,
You had
we
a board.
Kristen was writing on the board. I had the little
Yeah.
headset, the little tiny headset, wearing all black.
Oh, the Tony Robbins.
Yeah, fresh pair of Vans.
Yeah. And you were going through it, and I was like, oh, this is good. This is good stuff. Like, I didn't think it was fluffy, and I thought it was stuff that people can really integrate into their relationship. So
Yeah.
I hope you do it again.
You were like, oh, you should do that at the retreat. I remember you saying that.
Oh, I manifested it then.
Yeah.
I planted the seed.
A couple things, John. I got some feedback from someone that said no, it's fine. We're not in the principal's office.
Okay.
Just eat the donut. Eat the whole donut next time. You don't have to just eat like a little bit of it and throw it away. Just sit down, eat the donut, enjoy the donut. One donut has the same amount of calories as like 2 bananas. Just eat the thing.
Oh,
it's not a big
okay.
deal.
That's good to know.
It was more like permission giving. Like,
right.
Try not to feel shame about it. Try to enjoy the donut. I thought that was nice.
I like that. I definitely don't eat the box, but eat one donut fully. You don't have to have one bite. I like that.
Don't eat the box, or don't eat the whole pint like I did last night.
You ate the whole pint of ice cream?
I ate 1 pint on Saturday and 1 pint on Sunday.
You remind me of Sean Hayes from Smartless, because that's all they talk about is his sweet tooth.
His sweet tooth, yeah. I ate it. I thought about this donut thing, and I was like, just eat the thing, but maybe not the whole pint. But I did anyways. I think I came back from skiing. I went skiing all last week, and it was really fun. Mammoth, yeah. I was chasing a storm. It was actually really great. A couple funny things happened. One is that I posted on Instagram asking if anybody had like a cool place for me to stay at, either free or rented. Like someone's cabin or whatever. Because on Airbnb you just get screwed.
Yeah.
With the service fees and the cleaning fees, and like you can't do anything. They're like, don't touch anything, don't look at anything, don't sit on the couch. Like it just becomes ridiculous to be on Airbnbs nowadays. So no one offered me a cool place to stay, and I found this hotel that had was reasonably priced, but it also had a hot tub and a sauna and a fireplace in the lobby. So I was able to like kind of hang out there. And it's funny because no one really hung out there. I kind of used the lobby as my living room, and no one else was really using it. And it was like, well, there was a TV there. There was a fireplace. It was just nice couches.
Yeah.
Anyways, this woman reached out and she says, I don't have a place for you to stay, but if you want to ski with me, or if you want to take a couple laps together, let me know. And I said, okay, sure. And I didn't look at her Instagram profile because I just assumed that it was private because anybody that reaches out to me. Okay. By the way,
I don't believe you. I don't believe that you got an invitation and you didn't go through her feed and find out.
I didn't okay, let me tell you something, everybody and John. People slide into my DMs on a daily basis.
Yeah.
It's almost always private Instagram accounts.
Okay.
Okay, so people, if you're going to slide into the DMs, you
Go
have to
public.
open up your account. You
Yeah.
have to make it public.
Yeah.
I'm not going to request to follow you to see what your account looks like. That's never going to happen. So if you want a chance,
Never. What if just that profile picture is so captivating and you're just like, I got to see more of this
it's
person.
happened where I have and I've regretted it and I've had to unfollow them.
Yeah.
Follow and then unfollow.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's a weird thing to do. So I'm just saying, if you're going to slide in, open it up for a little bit. You know? Anyways, I didn't look at who this person was, but I also wasn't going to make a huge effort to meet up with them because like it's just sometimes I've met up with followers before and it's almost invariably almost a little weird.
Yeah, awkward, and then then you feel bad. And what if there isn't even like a friendship connection? Then you feel obligated, and
Totally.
Yeah.
So I wasn't going to make a huge effort, but I was like, text me when you're on the mountain. And she did, and I said I'm at the bottom of lift 5, and she's like, I'll be there, you know, in the next run. And we ended up meeting up. It was very easy. It was like, you know, we simultaneously arrived at the bottom of lift 5. I told her I was wearing all pink. Just look for me. I wear an all pink ski suit.
No way.
Hot pink. Yeah.
Really? Head to toe pink?
Pink and
Wow.
black.
You really want to stand out on the slopes.
Peacock. We met up. We ended up skiing together for 4 days.
Oh, of course. Well, this is a very predictable SG story, Sean Galliano story.
Well, no romantic connection.
But friendship.
Yes, but we didn't even talk that much. We just skied
like
together.
Next to each other. You guys were just like ski pals.
We were ski pals for 4 days. We actually even extended our trip and got a hotel room for one more night so that we could ski an extra day at this other mountain outside of Mammoth.
Did you feel her wanting more, or no? It was mutual. The platonic energy.
Just platonic skiing, but we like skied at the same level. It was just a very easy 4 days, and it was actually really nice to have somebody to ski with and not be alone for 4 days. I would have gotten really bored.
Hey, I love that story. And also, when I say it's predictable SG, it doesn't always have to be sexual. I think you kind of go about life and you make friends very fast. So that's also very you. You know what I'm saying? So this is also very in line with your brand. Just meeting someone, hanging out with them for 4 days, and also just being like friends, platonic, nothing else. You know?
And even saying like, "Hey, do you want to get a hotel room and like ski one more day?" And she was like, "Yeah, I would love that." And we got like two twin beds. There was one room left with 2 twin beds, and we're just like ski roomies.
Hey, can we just let that sink in to anyone who's single out there as a lesson and a North Star? Because that is something that I should have done. Every time that I was single, it's like, if we're not going to have a love connection, then I don't need you in my life, right? I was very dismissive. And I think many people who are single are like that, where it's like, if there's no chemistry, I'm wasting my time. And that shouldn't be. It should, I mean, look, you had you met a friend and you had a great 4 days because you turned your dial from, wanting to just be intimate with someone to being open to just a collision friendship and nothing platonic,
Yeah. And now I have someone to go skiing with. I have a friend who's down to go skiing.
Yeah.
And we ski we have a very compatible skiing style, which like if she had not been as good as she was, I would have been out of there. Like I'm a very selfish skier. I don't wait for people. On powder days, they say no friends on a powder day. Like I take that seriously.
Wow.
Yeah,
You're on the slopes what I am in a CrossFit box. I don't wait.
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. When we start working out, I don't wait for people. I just go.
I don't wait for people. I mean, I waited a little bit. What are you drinking? Is that matcha?
I have a green juice in my right hand, and then I have a coffee in my left hand. I've got beverages. I'm double fisting beverages every morning.
Nice. I have water and coffee. Okay. We went to a hot spring outside of Mammoth.
Nice.
Like outdoor,
Yep.
rural
Yep.
hot spring. And it was on Friday afternoon, and you just never know who's going to be at the hot spring. My fear was that it was going to be party bros.
Natalie Portman.
No,
Sorry.
guys with their boom boxes and their little
Mhm.
cooler beer,
Mhm.
Zin pouches, just kind of bros. We got there was a woman in the hot spring, 70 years old, naked, drinking a beer, smoking a cig.
Wow.
And so I'm like, all right, these are my people. She's a hippie,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
going to be fun.
Yeah.
We get there, she's like, my name's Sandy Dean, and I've
Yeah.
got 6 kids. And she's like kind of country, and we're just talking a little bit, and it's bugging me that she's smoking a cigarette in the hot spring, first of all.
Yeah. That's kind of.
Second of all, she ashes in the hot spring. I'm like, what the
Oh,
fuck?
now she's hijacking space.
Then she takes the cigarette and flicks it into the fucking wild.
That's kind of badass, though. Oh wait. Oh. As in like starting a fire.
Well, I mean, it was all snowy, so no,
Yeah.
but like littering at a fucking pristine hot spring place.
Yeah.
So I'm already seething now, right? Like I hate this woman,
Mm.
and I'm about to say something. I'm about to lose it. Then she was like, "Let me tell you the 6 secrets to a happy life."
Just out of nowhere, she said that.
Yeah, well, kind of, because she was like, "Are
Right.
you married? Why aren't you married? You're kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
old not to be married."
Wait, is it? It's just you and her, or is it you, your new friend, and her?
It's me, Carissa, and this woman, Sandy Dean.
Okay, 3 people.
She goes, number 1, you have to let Jesus into your heart.
Mm.
And I go, okay,
She
I
lost
gotta
you
stop.
there.
I gotta stop you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to listen to the rest of this if
Yeah.
that's your number 1.
Yeah. That should have been the last one she said.
That should have been the last one that she said.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was number 1. And then her and I just got into it in the hot spring. I'm naked. She's naked. Carissa's freaking out because she doesn't like confrontation. I start
Oh.
telling this woman, she's like, marriage is the most beautiful thing between a man and a woman. And I go, I'm gay.
Mm.
What about me? I'm gay. I
Yeah.
suck
Yeah.
cock. And she's like, oh, that's a sin. And I was like, oh, you know what else is a sin? Fucking flicking your cigarette outside the hot spring
Yeah.
like a crazy person. And she was like,
Yeah.
oh, you're right. I should repent about that. Dude, it got heated.
Wow.
And I could not let it go. I was trying to argue with this Bible thumper who like has 70 years of experience with guys like me.
Mm.
It was insane. I was so upset. I was like,
Was she also
seething.
was she also giving it to you as well? I mean, obviously, right? She wasn't just taking it; she was also judging you and calling you names. You're going to hell, whatever.
Yeah, she was like, "You're going to burn in everlasting damnation or something in a lake of fire. You're going to get to the pearly gates, and they're going to say no." And I was just sitting there going, like, I was saying, like, well, heaven doesn't exist, hell doesn't exist, God doesn't exist. And here's the crazy thing: is I do believe in God. I just don't believe in a spiteful God that wants me to burn in hell and all of my gay queer friends to burn in hell.
Well,
And
also
we
you're
could
not
have.
gay. Also, you're not gay, unless this is new news. You said that to rile her up.
I did. That's correct.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
new news. But having blown some dudes is enough to get me maybe not let into the
You are
pearly
kind
gates
of
of
gay. You're
kind of
not
gay.
gay.
I'm a little fruity. I'm a little fruity.
You're a little fruity for sure. Yeah.
Dude, it drove me crazy. Like I couldn't enjoy myself. And the kicker of this whole story is that then this group of party bros showed up.
Oh,
And they were
nice.
actually cool. They showed up with their
Oh,
boombox, with their
yeah.
beer, and with their
Yeah.
Zin pouches, and they were hilarious. One of them, like, they were all welders. One of them made his own sourdough bread. Like, we were talking about our high cholesterol. Like, they
Mhm.
actually calmed the whole thing down.
You know what's interesting is wanting to not be around party bros because of the way that you see them, and then party bros coming and giving you a different experience. That would make me feel closer to God than someone telling me I need to believe in God. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, my expectations were wrong. Like my
Right.
assumptions about party bros was totally
Right.
wrong, and my assumptions about hippies, 70-year-old naked hippies, was also wrong.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Because you went into it thinking, "Oh, this is awesome.
Yes.
She's my people. We speak the same language."
Yes.
And of course, that was not the case. And then the nightmare came, which then turned out to be a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Hey,
wild?
that's a great just metaphor for life, man.
Keep your assumptions. Don't assume.
Yeah. Well, now we don't whatever you assume, usually it's the opposite that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was fun.
I love it. I love that story. What a great story. So, what did your friend Carissa think of all this? Did she also go with the ride, or was she like, "I gotta get the fuck out of here"?
Well, so she was very uncomfortable. She was like, "Wow,
Yeah.
you don't mince your words. You don't hide how you feel." And I was like, "You should know this, right? Like I'm very direct when I'm feeling activated. I'm going to tell you how I feel." But turns out that she's actually a believer as well.
In God, or is she Christian, or is she
I
does
think
she have a
she's
religion?
Christian, but she doesn't believe in eternal damnation, and
Yeah.
she thinks abortion is whatever. She's like, I
Yeah.
wouldn't do it, but you could do whatever you want.
Right.
And that's what really bugged me about this whole thing, is because in AA we learned thy will be done, like thy will, not mine. Like we learn live and let live. We learn that like this is a God of my own understanding, whereas this
Yeah.
person had a God of only her understanding, and everybody else's God was wrong unless it was Jesus Christ.
Mm,
And like that's a great way to turn anybody off, is to say that whatever you believe is wrong.
yeah. When I in my first marriage, she was Christian, and her family was Christian. They lived in a small town, so I by default became Christian, going through the motions a lot. But I also experienced in the church, because we used to go to church on Sundays, a lot of hypocrisy, and I felt that the older you were, this is a generalization, the older you were, there was a lot more judgment and shoulds, you know. And
Uh-huh.
then there are also amazing Christians that were just like heart filled and non judgmental and just
Yeah.
amazing people as well, right?
Yeah, I had a date yesterday with a woman who is really struggling with her parents' Christianity, and she called her cousin, and her cousin is one of these gentle, loving Christians
Yeah,
that doesn't preach to people who don't want to be
right,
preached
right.
to, and like accepts you for who you are. And like um it's a weird time to be in the United States, actually, with
Yeah.
this like resurgence of Christianity.
Speaking of Christianity and people who you can learn from, the greatest catalyst, probably, I would say, maybe even in my life or in the last 20 years, recently has been Justin Baldoni and his family for me. And there's like just just experiencing that has been a very kind of what we're talking about, spiritual uh, experience. So
Wait, but is he? He's not. Is he Christian, or he's
no, he's
like
not Christian.
What is that? He's something else.
He's Baha'i.
Baha'i. I don't know
Yeah,
anything about the Baha'is except for I've been to a couple AA meetings at a Baha'i center in San
it's
Francisco.
it's great, man. I think it's the Chris's. I mean, the closest I would say is like maybe a little bit of Buddhism, a little bit. I mean, a lot of like Christian type of things that I agree with, like non-judgment and stuff like that. The guy from The Office, Rain.
Rainn Wilson.
Yeah, he's also Baha'i. There's a few people, I think, publicly,
I like that
but
guy. He lost his house too.
he did in the
Yeah,
fires.
in the Palisades. Yeah, he has a podcast called Soul Boom.
Oh,
It's supposed to be really good.
yeah, yeah. But anyway, so as far as just like people you collide with and what you learn from, how people show up and see the world, he has been most recently the most impactful in my life.
Justin Baldoni, not Rainn Wilson.
I haven't met Rainn Wilson. I should start listening to the podcast like you do.
Well, so what you're bringing Justin up because
Him and his wife, the whole family.
they let you stay at their house in Ojai.
Yes, and I decided to
That's
go.
why you're bringing it up.
I decided to go public with it. Not only did they let us stay at our house, but
Their house.
I mean, he gave me his bed. He gave me clothes. They had their cars washed for us. They also said, if you're with another family, which I couldn't, because at first I said no, because it's just, I can't leave this other family,
Wait,
They're,
back up. Your house burned down. I don't think people know the story. Your house burned down.
my name is
Justin
John
Bal-
Kim.
Yeah,
I'm Korean American.
You got circumcised at 11.
I used to break dance in the 80s. My parents came to America when I was 3.
Okay, it's
Okay,
not that
stop.
far back.
Okay, not
Your
that far
house
back.
burned down. Justin Baldoni, who's an acquaintance of yours, who's also been in a lot of like hot water
Yes.
recently.
We're
We'll
going
talk about
jitsu on.
that. But basically, reached out to you and offered you his house in Ojai because he was not going to be using it.
Hey, real quick, are you funnier when you're with me? Be honest.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think I'm pretty consistently funny.
Oh, that's fucked up, Shaun.
Yeah. No, but I think we have great chemistry.
Yeah,
We can bounce
banter.
off of each other.
Yeah.
I just want people to know what you're talking about because you kind of
Yeah.
just jumped right into it.
It's called backstory. Go for it.
Backstory. Justin offered you his house. You not only his house, but his generosity, and not only to just you, but to the other family that you had been staying with after you,
Yes.
your neighbor.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
And you stayed there for like a month almost.
3 weeks. Around 3 weeks. The other family is still there. So there's 4 adults, 3 children.
Yeah. So Justin, who you don't really know, who you've been on his podcast, but he's not a good friend of yours.
We didn't go to high school together. He doesn't owe me anything. We know each other kind of peripherally. We do text once in a while. He's always been a very generous, kind, considerate person.
And not only that, there's a quote on the back of your book, your latest book.
Him. Yeah, he endorsed my book. Yeah.
He endorsed your book. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad we're talking about this.
I'm still holding on to you saying that you're funnier without me, but let's move on.
Oh, okay. Well, I just feel like we're talking about something kind of big, you know.
Oh, I'm not trying to. No, I want to come back to this, but I just noticed.
You're still upset about it.
Because sometimes we'll crack a joke and I'll think it's really good, and I'll think, I wouldn't have thought of that unless we were talking, or you wouldn't have thought of it unless we're talking, and I'm imagining the listener actually laughing and thinking, oh, it's because of our chemistry, not because of me or you. So
I think independently we're pretty funny guys, but together there's a chemistry.
I'm very dry and very anyway, go on.
Well, that's it. You feel some kinship, and you have experienced the generosity that the Baldonis have extended to you, and that has felt like some sort of spiritual experience.
It has made me, the way that they showed up to us in need has made me check myself in the way that I show up in the world. Not because they are preaching or telling me, how to or what kind people do, or very different than the 7-year-old in the hot spring, right? Flicking cigarette butts. They're just being themselves. And what I got from the collision, from the exchange, was, holy shit, like Charles Bukowski was wrong. It's not dogs that are angels on this planet. It's the Baldonis.
It's the Baldonis.
Yeah.
Was there a part of you that was hesitant to take their
Yes, I
offer?
said no. I said no at first.
Because of the fact that he's been accused of sexual harassment by Blake Lively.
Well, there was that. I didn't say no because of that. Because I feel like all of that is a lot of he said, she said. Although things are swinging, receipts are coming out, and anyway, I didn't make it about that. I said no because I felt uncomfortable living in their home. Sleeping on their bed, using their shower, and so I was like, I thought it was too much. I thought it was too much to take that. And the only reason why I said yes was because 3 families after the fires made this kind of pact. And we said, let's just receive, see what happens. So whether it is someone delivering pastries to our Airbnb or a family offering their home, just turn your dial to receive, right? So we all kind of made that pact. And because of that, and because we were with another family, I didn't want to just say no because of my discomfort of receiving. I wanted to just say yes for everyone and involved. And so I felt like it was about something bigger than me, So that's why I said yes.
That's cool. Yeah. You had a men's group also at.
Yes, because I said, Justin knows I have a men's group. And that's the common thread between us, just trying to be better men, talking about men,
Oh yeah, he's got a podcast called Man Enough.
Yes.
About being a feminist and being a good man.
just exploring the man journey, right? And so that we have a common mission there. And so I said, hey, yeah, he knows about my men's group. He said, just do it here. And I said, no, there's like 14 guys. I'm not gonna. I told them I don't want to risky business your house.
Yeah.
And all my references are from the 80s.
Yeah, I know.
And you seem disappointed. And he said, dude, use my house like as if it was yours. And so again, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to, let the spirit of kindness work through me. And so I did the men's group, and we had like 14 people. And then we also I brought Vanessa, Danae. I made it into kind of like a part social hang. Sarah was there, and we did a polar plunge. And I wanted to make it almost like a micro retreat. Meredith made lunch for us and stuff. So it was amazing. It was very healing, I think, for everyone involved.
Yeah, I was not there.
You were not there.
No.
Which is okay, which is something that we talked about, and I respected.
Yeah, I didn't feel comfortable going.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, it stung a little bit, but then when I thought about it, I was like, I mean, of course, I'm going to respect your space. I think it stung for me because I took it personally.
Dude,
You're
if
not
it had
coming
not
to
been
our event. It's not about him. It's about this is my thing.
For me, it was about him. If it was not at Justin's house, I would have gone.
Right, but I took
wanted
it personally.
to go.
I took it personally, saying that that's just a space. The reason I accepted it, and I'm cool with it, but the reason why it stung was I took it personally. Like, why does it matter where it's at? But then I looked at it through your lens, and I kind of understood. And even if I didn't, I have to give anyone the space to choose their truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't feel authentic for me to show up to somebody's house who has been accused of sexual harassment.
Sure.
And like you said, it's probably he said, she said. I mean, it's going to be he said, she said. And it kind of feels like multimillionaires having some sort of public spat, and it's like, why are we involved in this thing? But at the same time, like, I don't know. I didn't.
You also said you weren't following it. So it must have been hard. Like, I think what you knew about some accusations, but you weren't following it. And so if you were following
I followed it a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Anyway, I don't want to get into what it is, but all that is the whole accusations. It has no legs, and it's revealing itself truth. But
yeah, and that may be right. But I didn't feel comfortable. And that's me being also scared of like cancel culture and getting canceled, and like, oh, the love drive was seen at Justin Baldoni's house.
Sure,
like all that.
You're
kind
protecting
of stuff.
yourself. You're so. I think that's so okay. I think the other part of this was, there's a small pattern. They all make sense, but there was a small pattern of you saying yes to something and then 2 days later saying no. So it doesn't matter if we're talking about onesies, John, right? Like go get the animal onesie. Oh shit, I'm not gonna go animal. Or okay, I go to your men's group. Oh, I'm not gonna go because you did say you were gonna come up.
Oh yeah,
but you didn't know that I was gonna run a men's group there. So that was kind of confusing. So I think for me, the frustration was you keep saying yes to things and you pull out. You keep saying, and the reasons are valid. Like you went to Mammoth, so you commit to something which makes sense. And it's not that big of a deal. But I think it was a pattern of that made me be like, dude, this is like he keeps doing this.
Yeah.
So I think that was part of it too.
It's not the first time I've said yes to something and then at the last minute have pulled out of it.
No, I think in the time that we've known each other about 102 times now.
It's happened like in like important ways, right? The first retreat, the breaking up retreat I pulled out of. This thing, you were scared that I was going to pull out of the Valentine's Day retreat.
I mean, because listen, man, I'm just looking at patterns, and I was like, is he going to pull out of that too? Is he,
I'll be there. I'm picking you up, by the way.
Yes, you are picking me up in a truck.
Can we change this? Wait, should we just do a question?
We should do a question. We should do a question.
Time? Okay.
Yeah, because we do about 30, and then we start hitting questions.
Oh my God! Wait, sorry, that's not. Sorry. Okay.
Oh, you almost played as something sexual that you recorded. That was very personal.
Well, it is actually kind of sexual. Let's go there. We'll go there. Let's go.
Hi, John and Shaun. It's Elizabeth. I'm 51 years old and live in the UK. I've recently listened to Shaun's first episode of the Love Drive podcast, and he had a guest, Frank Mendoza, on it, and he was talking about tantra and the importance of making sounds during sex. I just want to ask, what is it about that men don't make a beep in the bedroom? They don't seem to like to moan and groan. And I just think it's very sexy if a man is very noisy and making sounds in the bedroom. Yeah, that's my question. Thank you very much. I love your podcast. I think it's very authentic and funny, and you two guys are just great. Carry on. Bye.
Carry on. I love it. I love her accent too, by the way.
Yeah, British, I guess.
I should ask Vanessa right now. She's in the other room if she likes noises or not. I think a lot of women don't like men making noises
Why would you think that?
because the type of noises that we make, they're very
Sound
different
like
than
Sound like
Huh?
a pug.
Yeah, groans, and it's very different than the type of again, generalizations, but the kind of noises that women make, which turn me on.
I
Those
think you're
noises.
wrong.
What kind of noises are you making?
I mean, sex noises, like moaning and groaning, and I
Oh,
think
yeah,
women
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Wait, go ask her.
Hey, Vanessa, can I ask you a question real quick? On the podcast? You don't have to show your face.
Show your face.
We got a caller who said, why is it that men don't make any sex noises? And I think maybe because of the sex noises that we make. My question to you is, do you like me making sex noises, or does that turn you off in bed?
You don't make sex noises. You just make sex comments.
Don't you wish he made sex noises?
I think I wish that it felt a little bit more intuitive. Sometimes I think even the sex noises for me feels performative.
Interesting.
Yes.
I think so. John was saying that he doesn't think women like the sex noises that men make, and I disagree. I think that women would love to hear men being more vocal in bed.
I think women would like to hear more intuitive response. I don't think it's like, oh, it's a noise versus words. I think it's different for every woman. I think so long as it feels intuitive, embodied, and like in the moment, like real, not structured or performative, then I think we'll like it. Like I don't think it matters what it is, so long as it feels authentic.
What if
I don't
you've
make
never
any kind of performative noises.
Yeah, you're not a noise, but you're not. But here's the thing: I'm actually not intuitively. I'm not a big noisemaker either. I have to be careful not to get too in the performance of it because that's what I've been taught men like, and I still fall into that trap where I will make more noises than I probably want to make if I was really just acting authentically and embodied.
Ooh, interesting. But there also has to be maybe a fake it till you make it for guys who aren't making any noise. Like it's gonna feel a little weird to start making noise and groaning and moaning if you've never really done it before.
Yeah, totally. I think the same could be said for like a woman who maybe has always made a lot of noise because she thinks that's what she's supposed to do, or a woman who doesn't make any noise. You know, I think it's the same. It's like if we're all trying to act out more consciously and more authentically, it's going to feel weird if we've been performing for the last 30, 40, 50 years.
Listen, audio is one of the five senses, right? There's taste, smell, touch. Audio is a huge. And so for me, I get turned on from whether it's noises or also being a words of affirmation guy, like sex talk, as long as it's honest. So Vanessa, I agree. Like if it's performative, and I've been with women where it was like over the top and it totally turns me off. But if it's coming from an authentic place, it elevates me. I think it's hot.
But I think a lot of women know that men enjoy the noise. I think also porn has taught us that the noise is like part of the act. So like for me, and you probably can speak to this, John, is when I'm in a deep sense of pleasure, you know, women, it's a very internal process, right? Like we really have to go inward. We have to shut out everything external. I mean, even the act is very internal, right? When I am in a really deep place of pleasure, I'm so inward that I actually sometimes go silent. And that has nothing to do with how much I like it. that actually is indicative of how into it in the moment I am, because I'm so inward in that moment that there's nothing coming out of me. You know what I mean?
Sometimes I think she left the room.
I have.
Or she fell asleep.
I have left the room in a good way.
Yeah, and then there's women who are extremely loud, and
and that's fine as long as it's authentic.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. So I think I think the answer is as long as you're authentic, and I don't think it's a gender thing.
Vanessa, thanks for chiming in. It's so lovely to hear you.
Show myself, but
bye. Love you.
I personally love noises as long as they're authentic, because it's one of the senses. Noises / words.
Well, the question was, why don't men moan more? And it came from a conversation that I had with sort of a tantric teacher, and he's expressing that moaning is just a way of expressing pleasure, and also can help move energy in the body so it doesn't get stuck.
Yeah.
And it also can be a way to either ramp up pleasure and excitement, or even ramp it down, like as a blow off valve for when you're starting to get too excited and you're on the edge of coming. You can moan to sort of like let go of some of that pressure. So I think it's a tantric tool without really knowing too much about it. I feel like it's a tantric tool to circulate energy.
I think couples have to start at the shallow end of the pool, meaning if you're not familiar with Tantra, it might seem a little bit too much, couples moaning and stuff. But even like breathing together, moaning, all of that can be really powerful for sure.
Oh, breathing together?
Yeah, breathing in sync. That is foundational in Tantra.
I love that shit. Circular breathing.
Yeah, I mean, listen, how many people actually do it? I mean, once in a while, maybe. As far as if you're in a relationship where the just sex is just a routine thing, to actually be mindful, to do the circular breathing, to have a kind of like a quote unquote tantra experience. It's not all the time. People don't have time for that. No, it's a once in a while thing.
Yeah, but when I was talking about these like 2-3 hour lovemaking experiences, they usually start off with some sort of like eye gazing where we're sitting in front of each other, and then we sync up our breath. And then she gets closer. We get closer and closer and closer. Then she crawls into my lap.
Yes, and by the way, the 2-3 hour session is coming from a man who has no children yet. So,
why you got to bring that up, dude? Why you got to?
It's harder
already. Okay, Sandy Dean's already telling me I'm too old. I should be married and have kids. Now John's saying I don't have kids.
I'm saying to have a 2 or 3 hour sex session, which sounds amazing. It's very hard to get into the calendar when you have children or a child.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's not on the priority list.
There's a lot of things that are hard to do when you have kids.
Yeah.
Dude, I was watching
a 20-minute session. You'd be grateful that you got that in.
I was watching parents with their kids at the fucking ski hill.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah. Sean would definitely Sean would ditch
I'm ditching my kids for sure.
On the slopes,
kids are crying, dude. And the dad's like, we should be taking one more run instead of going home, like kind of like chastising the kid. And then, come on, hurry up. The kid's like dragging his skis. And I'm just looking at that going like, there's no fucking way.
I know it's hard, Sean. It's hard. I mean, just like, listen, we started this podcast late this morning because Logan wanted to walk to school. And we're renting a place that's really close to our school. And so we're trying to make that happen, and, logistics and all that.
Yeah. Hey, so how's the new place?
It's great. Little Craftsman in Pasadena. We're here for 4 months, and then maybe Costa Rica. Maybe something someone like you would do. Drift.
Something
Trading in a Harley for a surfboard, possibly.
I love that you keep saying that. It's really funny.
That's my new mantra. That's why I keep saying.
You're not trading it in. There's no Harley to trade in. But I know what you're saying.
You're being literal and hurtful, and also
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I don't know why that came out.
Why are you reminding me that I have nothing?
I'm sorry. Like it came out, and I go, "Wow, that's mean." I apologize. That's not right at all.
Let's file that under humor. And I had a brand new Harley order, customized, and I canceled it. I was about to, get the Harley, get everything back, kind of, and I canceled it because I thought to myself, if we do something like Costa Rica or travel, the motorcycle would be going into the garage and storage. So why am? And also, Like, why am I trying to trace old patterns? Let's start making decisions from a place that's more honest. And so I almost pulled the trigger on it and I canceled it.
Can I say, you've heard the expression "loud pipes save lives"?
Yes.
And that's, for people who don't know, it's like if you have a loud exhaust, it means that
Yeah.
people can hear you coming.
Yes.
That's the argument is that loud pipes will save your life, so people aren't going to hit you. I think picking up a surfboard saves lives.
Mm.
You're going to get way more cardio and exercise and adrenaline and all that good stuff from surfing than you will from riding a motorcycle.
I'm afraid of the water. I have a water phobia with sea creatures, and so this is going to be challenging for me. I know I can surf like you could snowboard. I know the technique I have because I used to skate and all that, the coordination. But it's getting to the wave or past the waves that is terrifying for me. So we'll see.
You're going to scream like a little girl the first
Yes.
time like a piece of seaweed touches your foot.
Yes, and speaking of Jesus, I'll be walking on water to the shore, running.
Like a cartoon.
Yes, if anything touches my body, a sea creature, a fish, it doesn't have to be a shark. I am on top of the water running back to the shore.
Next week, I want to talk about, there's a new study that came out about the ick and how people that are either narcissists or have like are perfectionists are more likely to experience the ick. So I want to talk about that next week.
Oh, that's interesting. The correlation.
Yeah. But interestingly enough, 80% of our listeners are female.
That makes sense. I mean, isn't most of your following female? I think mine's half and half.
You think you should look. I'd be surprised if it was half and half.
So mine started off all female back when I was going through a divorce and talking about love. But now, because probably because of, I lift weights and ride motorcycles and stuff, I have a bigger male following audience. I don't like the word following. Oh, an audience. 50-50.
I ride motorcycles too, and I lift weights.
No, I know, but I don't know. Maybe it's the energy. I don't know what it is.
You show people.
I'm not saying that you don't.
You show people you lifting weights and riding motorcycles.
Right.
I don't.
You don't. You keep it inside.
I keep it inside. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even show people. Yeah, I don't even show people.
Well, do you want more of a male audience, or are you cool with all women?
I would. Yeah, I would.
Right.
I would love a more male audience. Actually, I went on a date yesterday with this woman who is polyamorous. She's a sex podcaster, actually, here in LA, and we were talking about like how to reach men, because all these men are kind of going right wing, like these incels, like involuntary celibate men, who are starting to like sort of hate women and like
the Andrew Tate stuff.
The Andrew Tate stuff, the MAGA stuff now, and how right wingers are better at appealing to that demographic than Democrats for the most part.
Oh, I can see that.
Than progressives. Right. They're being left behind. They're not going to college as much. They're not getting as good jobs as much. And so we're thinking about like, how do we invite some of those guys that are kind of on the fence between going to the red pill manosphere Andrew Tate stuff or like bringing them over to our side, right? The like softer, more emotional men who are able to communicate with women, who are able to connect with women. And so we're trying to figure out like, how do we get those guys, right? Like, how do we start a group? Do we start a podcast? Do we start something to like help these guys that are sort of like maybe in their like late teens, early 20s, right? Like where they're not too far gone. So all that to answer your question. Yes, I want more guys and I'd love to connect with them more, but I'm also kind of scared and I don't know how.
Yeah. We also have, we overlap, of course, but we also have different energy. And so maybe that's part of it, and the stuff that we talk about, how we approach things and all that stuff. So I don't know. I'm trying to think about if I was in my 20s, like who would I follow on social? What kind of podcasts would I listen to? So I don't know. Yeah,
maybe the guy with the tattoos and the motorcycles and the crazy hair. I don't know.
I definitely would. I would actually probably take in someone like Dak Shepard, who is a gearhead, and he's a like a man's man, but he's also super intelligent and can go there as far as like EQ, what softness. He can cry and all that. So I think someone like that, right? Someone who I can identify with as a man, my version of a man, or things that I'm interested in, but also the man's got capacity. The man can talk about things that in our world a lot of times are only conversations in women's circles.
Yeah, and they can like look up to him because he's got money and cars and a wife and some kids.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Some of that too. Sure.
I have a new celebrity crush, by the way. Speaking of celebrities,
I probably won't even know who the celebrity is because I just don't. I don't pay attention.
You do not. I don't think you're going to.
Celebrity's dead. That's why, because of the explosion of social media. I mean, what is movie stars now, right? But tell me, I might know.
Margaret Qualley.
See, I have no idea. I don't even know.
She is. She is. Oh, entire screen. Here we go.
I'm gonna Google.
Yeah, Google her. She's Andy McDowell's daughter.
Is she young? Margaret Qualley.
She's 30. She's an actress. So yeah, she's a little young. She was in The Substance. She was in the TV show Made. She's been in a whole lot of stuff lately. And she's a self-identified Nepo baby.
So this is very you. She looks like she lives in England. She has the porcelain skin, brunette. She has a little bit of that Natalie Portman kind of, the gap tooth, blue eyes. Yeah. She's definitely not like a California babe. She's more of like she has a British accent. I could, I don't know. Maybe she does. Maybe she doesn't. But yeah,
she's also married to a music producer who I think produces Taylor Swift's music. So she's in the high echelon.
Also, 30. Shaun, isn't 30 too young? Or is it? Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe not for a fantasy, but for like actual, like, to be.
I don't know, her husband's 40, so.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, how old are you, John?
I'm 51.
How old's your wife?
40. I'm 50. I'm going to be 52. She's going to be 41.
Okay, so it's almost exactly the same age difference between me and Mark.
Yeah, but you know what? As you get older, the gap closes more. So
I'm just saying it's the exact same gap between.
Hey, before we leave, we want to know what happened. What happened to the girl that you were vibing with the people who are following your love story? Because you just said casually you went on a date, and I was thinking, wait a minute, you went on a date with someone. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm going on dates with people.
She's still in the mix, but you're just not being right now. You're just not being exclusive.
I'm not kissing and telling.
Okay.
See, here's the thing. It doesn't make sense for me to kiss and tell.
Well, that's not technically kissing and telling. That's just letting us know about your personal relationship, which you also maybe not want to do. I
don't think it works. It doesn't.
I would be scared too, if in case that person listens to the podcast, of course.
Well. Yeah, hopefully they're not learning any new information from the podcast.
Yeah.
Right? That would be inappropriate.
Yeah.
Okay, questions. Send them 657-549-1001. Leave us a review on Apple or Spotify.
Shaun and I are doing something really crazy. We're trying to grow our podcast. Yeah. Yeah, we're trying to do it in a way where you just, people like it, they tell their friends. We're trying to do it old school because, we don't believe in strategy.
We don't believe in strategy, but if you have any suggestions on how we could grow the podcast, I think we're both open to it.
Well, if you just like it or there's something in one of the questions that you thought was, important for a friend or a partner or someone to listen to, we just encourage you to share. That's all.
Yeah. And you can watch these episodes on YouTube. Very shortly, you'll be able to watch these on Spotify. And we share like 1 or 2 or 3 clips of the podcast every week on Instagram. So if you share those and you like them, then that helps
the Asian lady who's the actress in every movie now. She's in Wicked. She's got the white hair. She was in Everything Happens at Once, or that weird movie. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's who I look like now. I'm looking at myself. I look like that Asian lady with the white streaks, and I look like her. Anyway.
Thank you for that, John.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
I've been thinking that the entire time. I just had to let it out as we end.
You look great. You look great as usual.
Leaning into the grays.
Yeah. Hey, I'll see you on Friday. I'll pick you up.
Yep. And if you're listening and you are attending our first V-Day retreat in Idlewild, know that it's going to be cozy. Know that
it's a packed house.
Yeah, on purpose. Know that we both agreed on animal onesies, and someone flipped the script. And know that it's going to be a great time, and you're going to get 2 authentic men to lead this. So we're excited to have you.
Packed house.
Packed
on
house.
purpose. On purpose.
Yeah.
V-Day retreat on purpose.
He's making fun of me now. Thank you for listening. Be well.
Have a beautiful week.
All right.